What is up, folks? What is up? I have not changed my trailer window, so it is still showing my outro. Let me go ahead and get that changed really quick, and we will be ready to rock. Alrighty, folks, so let's see here. Let me turn down the volume a little bit here. So what is up? It is Saturday. It is noon. It is November 3rd. And before we get started today on today's episode, which will be a shiitake mushroom episode, better believe it, that's going to be the case for today, Saturday. It's also going to be the case for the Sunday after party. The first legit show, well, the next legit show is going to be on the VR365 channel. And so, yeah, Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time will be the debut for VR365. I still have not made any kind of intro or anything for that, so it's going to be a soft launch, as we like to say. It's going to be a very soft launch, a pillow soft launch for VR365, but you know, kind of my idea is if you always wait for things to be perfect, you're going to be waiting a very long time. So instead, just do it. Just get it started, get it rolling, and a couple weeks later, things will be good. For example, here's one of the realities that we're going to have going on. Did you guys notice that the timer at the beginning of today's show was finally fixed? You did not see my computer. You did not see all the little indicators. You did not see my clock. I finally figured out how to use the timer in the correct way, and I'm hoping Jim Hall will appreciate that. About 35 days later, I finally learned how to use the correct timer, so I was really proud about that. And but anyway, you know, we're just going to keep banging along. This is Espire 1. This game, you might remember, Tripwire Interactive is going to be publishing this game. The developers of Killing Floor Incursion, they picked up Espire 1. This is coming sometime in the year 2019. It is a stealth VR game, which stealth in VR works out pretty well. Jim Hall, yeah, here's Jim Hall checking in. Good job. Yeah, you know, it's about time. And you know what ultimately it came down to? It came down to me spending about 2 minutes in the options and seeing, oh, here's the window that I'm supposed to copy into the browser. That's all it was, man. It was just a handful of minutes. But you know what? The story of my life recently is hectic. Like, if you can describe it in a single word, it's hectic. And a lot of it is self-created. Like, I create this hectic situation where I am scrambling to get things done at the last minute, scrambling to learn how to learn things. And I think what I really need to do is just chill, just relax, just chill, just take a minute and kick back and actually learn how to do something right. And don't scramble to everything. But I've been kind of in this scramble situation. So anyway, that's my situation. And that's why today is what we call a shite show. It is a shite show. There is no preparation for today. And the real problem, like the reason why there is no preparation is because I've been banging away on some other stuff that is going on in the backgrounds. Those of you that have already subscribed to VR365, VR333666555, those of you that already subscribed, my apologies, because I am absolutely hammering you with my backlog of videos. And that's what I've been working on. That is the mission that I've been undertaking. I've been trying to get a backlog of like 200 and something episodes up on there. See, my goal is if you randomly go to the VR365 YouTube page and you're looking for old episodes, they will be listed in numerical order. You know, it'll have episode 200, 199, 198, 197, 196, da 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 da. It's an OCD thing, man. I got this OCD thing. Let me go ahead and switch on to a different trailer real quick. I will try to cycle these trailers on a regular basis. Let's see, what should we use? All these trailers seem so familiar to me. How about In the Cloud VR Afterlife? I'll go ahead and throw that one on. But yeah, basically trying to get the back catalog of all these shows on there. It's an OCD thing. And what it is I really want them to be in order. And the way I look at it is by the time we actually start our first show on Monday at 11 a.m. from VR365, my hope is the entire back catalog will be there. And so while this is really painful right now, because if you've subscribed to me and you go to YouTube, you're probably just seeing a million mug shots, most of which are really goofy and embarrassing. I really got to change all the thumbnails, but right now the plan is just get everything up there and worry about it later. So my hope is about 10 days from now, all of this will be a distant memory. We will be on the new channel VR365. The daily shows will be arriving on the new channel. Everything will be good. Your YouTube inbox will not be completely hammered with crazy, weird thumbnail images of me in various poses, all kinds of weirdness. That will all be a distant memory, and you'll just get your regular shows, and shows will actually have preparation. They won't be complete and utter shiitake mushrooms. You know, it'll be actual preparation. So the things will be good in a matter of time. You know, it's just a matter of time. Things will be wrapped up in a matter of time. Okay, now I do have some trailers that I actually wanted to get into. I just downloaded a couple of trailers right before the show or within minutes leading up to the show. Let me see if I can find one of these trailers. These are some kind of unknown VR games that I think either are already available or coming out very soon. So the first one I'm going to go to is VR Hero Sentry reveal trailer. Don't know anything about it. Let's go ahead and check this out. Is muted. See, this is why I got to stop doing this mic muting thing. I got to do what Steve says instead, where it cuts off it cuts off a portion of it cuts off some of your mic decibels, so that when you're going to a trailer, you don't mute your mic, because that's what I did. I went to the trailer, I muted my mic, and this is what I pay for it, man. So yeah, this is an example. Shiitake mushrooms. Okay, so what was I talking about? I was talking about Arthands VR. This is credit to Arthands VR, and what I was saying is Arthands VR is a decent website to bounce to. In fact, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So if I switch over here, this is Arthands VR. And what I was saying is everybody should probably go ahead and bookmark Arthands VR, because you know what it's nice for? If you want to find out, did something come out today or is something coming out tomorrow, Arthands VR is pretty quick on the draw. Now, they will be incredibly limited with what they tell about stuff, but they report on games coming out of early access, different new releases, stuff that you were not checking on, stuff that you weren't paying attention on. And VR Hero Sentry is one of these games. And you know what? We do have the Steam page right here, and that always pops up like that. So VR Hero Sentry is coming to us from Refocus Solutions, and it is coming on November 6th. This is inspired by classic RTS hero mods. VR Hero Sentry lets you choose and shape your hero to your unique play style, murk monsters and hard bosses, earn experience and spell points to explore your personal spell path. So here's one. You want to talk about flying under the radar. And do you guys remember the episode? It was just a couple of episodes ago. I was talking about flying under the radar. If you go and rewatch that episode, take a shot. Every time I say flying under the radar, you will be freaking dead. Like, you will be dead within like 15 minutes because, oh my God, do I say that phrase over and over and over again. But that's what this is. VR Hero Sentry. You want to talk about flying under the radar. This is a perfect example. It is available November 6th. Probably the biggest game of November. You gotta say, probably the biggest game of November, right? No, okay, absolutely not. But it is a game that we are checking out. Okay, so going over here, Stonepunk Studios. Stonepunk Studios is coming back to the mix, and he's saying, you're going to have to repeat everything you said because it looked like it was exciting. Yeah, you know, Stonepunk, this is a podcast with technical issues. In fact, somebody said instead of being VR365, it should be technical difficulties 365. And I kind of understand what the guy was saying there, and I don't know that I disagree. Yeah, VR Hero Sentry looks mildly interesting. It's just a new video, guys. It's a new video. It was something for me to talk about. And speaking of new videos, speaking of something for me to talk about, is a Magic Leap video. And it's been a long time since we've gone over to the dark side of Magic Leap. But this is Ambio. It is by Sennheiser. And it's a Magic Leap thing. Let's go ahead and full screen this and check it out. The audio on this is a little bit messed up, but it looks kind of cool. I'm sure if you saw this actually in person on a Magic Leap 1 headset like Noah is so privileged to be able to do, I'm sure this looks super dope when it's happening right in front of you and you see your real living room right behind it. I'm sure this looks really cool. You know, so some nice little things going on in Magic Leap land. That is Ambio by Sennheiser for Magic Leap. Probably pretty mesmerizing. That's the thing, man. We've already seen with VR that you can have some meditation, chill out, zone out into another zone kind of experiences with VR. That has absolutely been proven, and I highly recommend it. You know, I've talked many times about firing up Zing and just chilling on the beach, like actually sitting down on the ground of my living room, or well, not my living room, my dungeon here, basically sitting on the ground and just chilling and checking out the beach, checking out the stars. And there are some meditative purposes that you can use VR to just kind of relax. And AR is going to work really nice with this as well. Imagine listening to some really chill music and having all these little things popping up all over. I think this does look pretty cool. So that is Ambio for Magic Leap. Okay, now that I've screwed up all my video windows by moving my video windows around, I'm gonna have to put a different video on and kind of fix things here. So hold on a second. We are gonna grab ourselves a standard 1080p video and see if we can get this fixed. Let me try this. Open your eyes, Oculus Go. This is probably 1080p.
Open your eyes.
Okay, so this should be like
You
this.
are a fisherman in the Pacific.
There we go. That is nice
weaver
and
in
beautiful.
the Philippines,
Let's switch up to
and a
full
journalist on the
full
front
screen
lines.
trailer.
You are a hunter, and
Fix
you are
this.
the hunted. You're front row,
All right, and let's
Backstage.
fix this one.
and you're the one we came to see.
There we go. Okay,
You act with kindness.
cool. We got our video windows fixed. Alrighty, so yeah, Chris Gould says it could chill you out after looking at your bank balance. That, of course, would be if you bought yourself a Magic Leap 1, which is what, $2,300, right? $2,300. Yeah, I got to be honest and tell you that I have no interest in purchasing a Magic Leap 1 for $2,300. And that is a real problem for a company like Magic Leap. Because really, think about this for a second, guys. If you consider all of planet Earth and the 7 billion people that are walking around on planet Earth, I am one of the most interested of those 7 billion in Magic Leap. Like, there's only a small, tiny handful of us. And I'm legitimately, like, seriously interested in Magic Leap, yet I have no interest in purchasing that product at that $2,300 price. And honestly, it would probably have to get to $999.99 before I'd have any legitimate interest whatsoever. And it would need a ton of killer apps as well, combining as well. I mean, a whole lot of things would have to come together for Magic Leap. And it's a bit of a problem for them. I think Magic Leap really needs to pivot away from consumers and start to pivot to enterprise, medical, engineering, CAD, Bell helicopters, those kind. That's where Magic Leap needs to pivot, because the consumer market is nowhere near Magic Leap for many, many years. They don't have a killer product. At one point, I would have bought a Magic Leap for $2,300 if it was the dream that I was dreaming about. Because, see, when I first heard about Magic Leap, it was this dream that you're going to put on these magical goggles and it's going to be like real people are standing in your living room. It was going to be like this light that was coming into your eyes that would just blow you away. Like you were seeing real stuff, lasers, fiber optic projectors that were shooting light right into your real eyes, right, making it seem like it's real. And if it was like that, then maybe I would, that's where it's like buying a used car, $2,300, but you don't care because it's so breathtaking, so incredible that you don't care. But they're not there. Their product isn't there yet. The FOV and everything, and they don't have the killer apps either. So it's a double whammy. It's going to be interesting, honestly, to watch that company navigate the next couple of years, because they've gotten by with a lot of smoke and mirrors. And now the S has hit the fan and it's out there, and their sales numbers are going to be pitiful. They got to switch over to private industry. There is no question about that. Okay, yeah, no, I don't want to switch to that video. I want to switch to 1080p videos. Let's see if we can grab something else. How about just a rando Beat Saber video? That is probably 1080p. All right. Lethal Weasel VR says it would need a Ghostbusters game. Main fan took Magic to literally. Push the button says Magic Leap is too early for anyone. No, it could work. It could work in private industry. HoloLens works in private industry. Like if you're a Mercedes-Benz dealership and you want to have something really cool for customers, you might want to have a Magic Leap and show them what that car would look like with this interior, with these rims, etc., etc. There are certain industries that could want to have Magic Leap, but it's not regular consumers. And Magic Leap was kind of like focusing on consumers. I mean, they got this deal with the NBA and all of that, but they're not going to be selling these things to consumers. It's going to take a long time. It would have needed to have 100-degree field of view. It would need to be just redonkulously impressive. They would need to have a John Madden football game that you play on your dining room table where all the guys are running around and you see it right there and it's like, oh my God, this is incredible. I mean, it would have to be so unbelievable, and it is nowhere near that, so it just isn't happening. Okay, let's see. What can we do now? We can go ahead and check out the various websites that are out there. I don't think there's anything new going on, and this is where it kind of hurts when I'm unprepared for a show. This is where preparation would actually pay off, because now we're going to have to go to some random some random websites, if I could even speak the English language. Okay, so let's go ahead and bounce over here. This is Upload VR. 5 things we want from the Oculus Rift S. And do you like it how the entire VR industry has decided, okay, this thing is called the Rift S. We are rolling with this. It is the Oculus Rift Sports Edition. They're going to be colored really bright blue and really bright yellow and waterproof. The Oculus Sports Edition. Really looking forward to it. Here's 5 things that Upload VR wants from it. Rift S plus controllers would be $200 to $300. Really? You want that? I don't want that. I sure as hell do not want that, because if that happens, you're talking about a lot of corners have been cut. If it's only $199 or $299, I don't want that. Make it $399 and put as much juice into that baby as you possibly can. Lower minimum PC specification. Not really. I mean, sure, if it had some like eye tracking with foveated rendering where you could have it for free, that would be great. I'm not really looking for that. New lenses? Yeah, we're looking for some new lenses. Oculus Go or better resolution? It better have Samsung and HTC Vive Plus or better resolution. Tracking quality guidance for developers. Don't really know too much about what they're talking about there. So that's it. Now, I've seen a number of discussions that have gone on around CV2, basically this Rift S and the Oculus Quest and the inside-out tracking, and a lot of people are saying this better work with USB sensors as well. It needs to be a hybrid. It needs to work with their regular USB sensors, and it needs to also have the inside-out tracking, because your high-end PC player wants pinpoint tracking accuracy. They don't want any kind of random problems with the tracking, especially in something like Echo Combat, where you're pushing off stuff, you're using your hand behind you, you're pushing off of things. You need that tracking back there, and that is problematic with just inside out tracking. And so a lot of people are saying it needs to combine the two. But at the same time, man, do we need to get far away from these USB sensors? One of the things that I was saying is, why can't you have a single sensor that is basically like a Kinect, if you will, a single item that you run one USB cord to your PC, and that single item, whatever it happens to be, is basically just a wide field of view. It's capturing the entire person kind of moving around and doing their thing. And why couldn't this one external sensor combined with the inside out tracking somehow work together, where when the inside out tracking loses sight of the controllers, this Kinect-like sensor has the full body tracking, where even if you're occluded a little bit, it can somehow use some kind of special algorithm to predict exactly where your appendages are, because see, the extra bonus that this Kinect-like device would also add to the equation, which would really make this Rift S a step up in technology because of full body skeletal tracking. Yes, full body skeletal tracking, Kinect style, from one singular external sensor that you locate kind of near where your PC is. It has like a 6-foot USB cord, 8-foot USB cord, just one thing that you need to plug in, and it views you externally, and it uses its external cameras to provide full skeletal of your entire body, and to also capture you like a texture map to be able to potentially put you in the game. Mixed reality, live action mixed reality in every game that you're in, potentially with the skeletal tracking, and then improving the sensors as well. Don't you think that would, so what do you guys think of that? I'm basically pitching that. That is free for you, Oculus. Here is the ideal situation. You provide us with Kinect, full body tracking, and you don't need to have all these 4 different USB sensors or anything like that. You have the inside out tracking, but you combine it with this one Kinect style sensor that does a lot of extra bonuses as well. I don't know, kind of crazy, but that's my idea. That's what I'm rolling with there. Okay, so 5 things they want from the Oculus S, and we pretty much covered the ones that they're talking about here. And resolution, I mean, let's be honest, if we're going to get a new Rift, it absolutely, without question, it has to jump up to where Samsung's resolution is, the Odyssey Plus and the regular Odyssey, and also the Vive Pro. I mean, it needs to have that resolution or better, I think, if we're going to go down that road. So that is, I just think it's kind of funny, though, that everybody is calling it the Rift S, which means there's no chance in hell it's actually going to be called the Rift S, because Oculus is going to have to put some kind of extra spin on it. There's no way they're going to call it that. All right, let's see what people are talking about in chat. IPCSK says, I want more FOV. I don't think we're going to get a hammerhead shark with Rift 1.5. I just don't think it's going to happen. Stonepunk Studios, an actual knowledgeable developer, checking in and says, first sensors, maybe even inside-out tracking inside each controller, so everything is always tracked. One of the problems I've heard about actually trying to put tracking on the individual controllers as well is that they're moving around too fast, like trying to have cameras that are on the controllers. It's just moving around too fast to be able to do that. Noel DBZ2 says FOV, 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 field of view, field of view, field of view. And here's the bottom line, guys. Those of you that are really into field of view, you might as well order yourself a Pimax 5K Plus, because I don't think Oculus is going to be bringing any majorly expanded FOVs to a Rift 1.5. They're going to bump up the resolution. They're going to have better lenses. They're going to improve the optics in a major way. They might have their own anti-screen door type technology, higher resolution. But I don't think we're getting half dome. I don't think we're going to get a hammerhead shark. I don't think any of that is going to, I think it's going to be too quick for that to happen. I think we're getting the Rift 1.5, guys. You're talking about a legit CV2, which has probably been delayed 1 additional year. Jim Hall says Rift S stands for sucks. Push the button says Rift small. I think I might have been talking to Jim Hall actually yesterday. We were having an interesting discussion on the Discord channel, the Discord server. So certainly, guys, you probably want to check out our Discord server. And there is an invite to the Discord server that is in the show notes for the last couple of shows. So you guys can find it there. You can join us on Discord and we can, chat back and forth. And I was talking with Jim Hall about this idea that I kind of want VR headset manufacturers to start making small, medium, and large. So VR headsets are developed for very small heads, for normal type heads, and then for the Mark Cubans of us out there, 3 different kinds of size ranges. And so each of these sizes would have their own IPD that would kind of be dialed in. It would have an IPD range, but it would be set to a very big range, a medium range, and set to the peanut head range as well. And then also for the ergonomics of it and everything. Of course, what we ultimately discovered after talking about it for a minute is, this you would have to be selling millions and millions and millions of headsets to justify having small, medium, and large. And so we're a long way away from that, but that is something that I've thought about. Okay, let's see here. What else can we get into? Let's see what folks are talking about in chat. Jim Hall says, field of view is actually my lowest feature request, maybe a little bump. And the problem with field of view is if you go down the field of view road, you got to make a lot of other sacrifices, I think. And I know, I've tried none of these wide field of view headsets, so I have no basis to talk about this. I really need to go somewhere and try these headsets. I wish I was in the shoes of Sweeviver and the shoes of Sebastian, MRTV Sebastian and Martin Sweeviver. These guys get their hands on all the latest headsets. Sweeviver has a number of videos right now with the brand new X-Tall headset. MRTV is always trying these different Pimaxes and everything. And they get a chance to try all these wide field of view headsets and get a better grasp of the overall situation, which I don't have that grasp. But I feel like there's a reason that HTC and Oculus and Samsung and all these major companies have not gone hammerhead style. And it's because I know there's got to be some trade-offs. Now, Pimax is like, we don't care. We don't care about the trade-offs. We think this is badass enough as it is that, okay, so what? There's a bit of distortion on the outsides if you're really, really looking for it. But otherwise, you got this gigantic field of view. So, my recommendation for a lot of the people here in chat is you probably want to get a Pimax 5K Plus. You probably want to bite the bullet and go down that road. And I know a lot of you guys are Oculus guys. You don't have a Vive anywhere. You don't have base stations. You don't have controllers for the HTC Vive. And so for you to get a 5K Plus, it's a whole ball of wax. And that's the exact situation that I'm in. For you to get a 5K Plus, you pretty much have to start looking for a used HTC Vive package that's out there somewhere. Grab yourself a used HTC Vive package and then order the Pimax and just add that into the mix. And then a lot of you are thinking, but dude, I can't do that when Knuckles is just around the corner. Saturday is kind of a shiitake mushroom show. It is kind of a shit show. We can talk about all kinds of things. Maybe we could talk about Valve. Like, really, ladies and gentlemen, can we talk about Valve? How many years has it been? How many years has it been? Let me see if I can find a trailer that can get us going down this road. What about Valve? Where are these 3 hidden games and where are the Knuckles controllers? Because it has been a long time. And in celebration of this talk, I will go ahead and throw on the trailer for Half-Life 2 VR mod, which we've been waiting for this literally for several years. The Half-Life 2 VR mod has been in development for how many years, folks? I mean, they have really incorporated Valve time with this mod. I want to play this mod. Dude, if this mod came out on some random day, it is going to be a glorious day. Because if it really looks like that, and I can walk around this world, the old Half-Life 2 world, and have it totally surround me, I will be happy to go back through all of this. Look at this, updated and improved high res, new lighting is baked in. I mean, man, don't you guys want to play this? I want to play this really bad. But I think about Valve, and I think about those 3 secret games. They got 3 VR games that are in stasis right now. You know, these 3 VR games are being hidden. We have no idea what they are. I would bet dollars to donuts, though. I really would bet dollars to donuts that one of those 3 games is somehow, some way related to Portal. And there will be some kind of Portal VR among one of these 3 games. And I think Portal VR might be the first game. It might be the first game out the chute. And I think you go back to robot repair in the lab. That could have been a very short sequence from a much bigger game. Same thing with the Moondust. I don't know if I have the Moondust trailer anywhere, but if you look at Moondust, there's a little bit of Portal that's in Moondust. So I kind of believe like Valve is really working on this huge Portal game that is going to be freaking bonkers, and it's going to use the Knuckles controllers to the fullest extent. It's going to remind you of when you played Half-Life 2 and you first used the gravity gun. It's going to be a breakthrough experience like that. And I'm really hoping that Portal VR, I mean, when are we going to get this, man? I guess it's got to be 2019. Like, I think I've given up on 2018. What do you guys think about Knuckles? What do you guys think about these 3 hidden Valve games? Do you believe Portal is one of them? And what do you think? I mean, let's just get away from Half-Life. It's not going to be Half-Life 3. Like, we don't even need to mention that. Okay, wait, chat's going a little bit too fast here. So King Hell says, when we have a 3080, 4080, Oculus will release Rift 2 and Pimax will be redundant. Anthony, tell us about how you hate everyone having their own store for software. Nah, we don't need to go down that road. Pimax 5K will be perfect with GTX 3080 Ti with high game settings, less jagged edges. And Noel DBZ says, I loved Half-Life 1 to 2. You know, I never finished Half-Life 2. See, that's the thing. I'm like I never finish anything. We know this. I've finished a handful of games. But Half-Life 2 is one of these games that I was probably like 70% of the way through it, but never wrapped it up. And I always know in the back of my head, it's kind of nice that I've never finished this because I know it's going to be remastered. I know it's going to be, somebody's going to take this classic and they're going to put a real nice fresh coat of paint on it. And I've never finished it, so it's going to be a real beautiful thing for me. It's the same thing with Borderlands 2 on PlayStation VR this December 14th, I believe. I've never played Borderlands 2. That is going to be a happy, joy kind of a day for me to jump into Borderlands 2 having never played it. And when this mod finally comes out, having only halfway played through this game, I can't wait, man. City 17 or whatever it is, that first city you go to with all those bulletin boards everywhere, with just the vibe of the game of Half-Life 2. It's going to be super awesome to get back into this. I always thought, why doesn't Valve themselves do this? Like, why isn't Valve themselves doing this? And that's one of the reasons. I used to talk about Erwin X. I used to talk with him about this Half-Life 2 mod, and I told him, this is like 2 years ago, I told him, I have a feeling that this thing is just never going to come out, but I thought it was never going to come out because maybe Valve has their own thing that they're just not ready to tell anybody about, but they don't want anything else stepping on top of it. I've always kind of wondered about that. T-Dub says, Left 4 Dead 3. Why shouldn't that be one of the VR games? And it could very well be one of the VR games. You know what I'm scared to death of? Is that one of the VR games is like a card collecting game or some shit like that, or a MOBA, because I'm not really into the MOBAs, man, but I'm kind of worried that Valve, one of those 3 VR games is going to be in a genre that I have zero interest in. That's probably my biggest fear from that. Okay, let's switch this trailer up for something else. And let's see, we've made it to 12:40, so I've got about 10-15 more minutes to go here, and then I will be out of Dodge. Okay, let's go. You know what? I've always loved this trailer right here. This is a beautiful trailer. Just a beautiful trailer, and it's got beautiful music as well. I'm a fan. I like this. Sunshine and rainbows. Really nice. That beautiful piano starts kicking up in the background. Okay, Jim Hall says, Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, Portal, Team Fortress, Counter-Strike. He's played more Valve games than all others combined. You've never played Portal 2? So you know, I've never finished Portal 1 all the way, and I've never played Portal 2, which I know, shame on me, shame on me. I did play Half-Life 1 from beginning to end, and that was like in 1998, I believe, or whatever year it came out. I played Half-Life 1 from the very beginning all the way to the end credits. I was a PC gamer back at that time. I was a hardcore PC gamer. I was playing stuff like the original Unreal, like the single player Unreal. I loved the single player Unreal. Anthony, you need to finish Portal 1 just for the end song. Yeah, I know. And, you know, the cake is a lie, blah, blah, blah. I was really close to the end. I really was. But Portal, man, Portal's one of these games. You talk about making your brain hurt. Portal made my brain hurt. I had to go to the internet a lot and look at some guides to get past some of those puzzles in Portal. Seriously made my brain hurt. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the various subreddits because the websites don't have any news. So we are going to have to go to the subreddits. Okay, somebody released an interesting music video that was done 100% in Tilt Brush. And so I can go ahead and grab this and throw this on. We can grab some trailers live and grab them with 4K Video Downloader, which is available for you. I am not sponsored by 4K Video Downloader. However, 4K Video Downloader, my email is... but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab a music video that was done, I believe, entirely with Tilt Brush, which looks kind of sweet, and I'm guessing there's some way to download this. It's called Willful Dream, composed, recorded, produced, and mixed by David Capolongo, written, directed, co-produced by Giuseppe Scottori, mastered by Bu Vallis in Miami, Florida, VR video. Let's see, where do you get it? I guess you probably just have to go to the actual website and download this, but I believe that you can grab this in your VR headset and check this out. It is called Willful Dream. So let me go ahead and throw this trailer on. We'll check this out. Just a sec here. All right, let's go ahead and peep. Oops. Open. Okay. Alrighty, so it's I'm sure this would be pretty cool to experience this in a headset. Would probably be pretty psychedelic and pretty trippy. So I'll go ahead and let those visuals play out for a little bit there. And let's see. Have you guys tried any music videos in VR though? Speaking of music videos in VR, I really thought that music videos in VR would be a really big deal, but we haven't seen that many. But I have seen some incredible examples of music videos in VR. We have Surge. You know that the Surge VR experience is kind of like a music video in VR, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. And then on PlayStation VR, that Chainsmokers video, Chainsmokers in Paris or whatever it's called, the Chainsmokers video that is on PSVR. Unfortunately, if you don't have it, you can't get it. Like it's somehow disappeared. But that is a great music video in VR. And I thought we would get hammered with all kinds of music videos in VR, but we hardly see them. And it's really disappointing. I'm surprised like Kanye hasn't done some crazy VR music video or something. you know, or just all kinds of different artists should have VR music videos, but we really haven't seen that done. Okay, let's bounce back over here to the Vive subreddit. And there is this thread right here. This guy's complaining. He's saying, look, it's been 6 months since Beat Saber has launched, and there has only been one song that has been officially added to the game. And, you know, these Beat Saber guys, I mean, they are working hard, right? They're trying to make it for Thanksgiving. Cut them a little bit of slack. They're trying to get a demo out on PSVR prior to Thanksgiving, so we gotta cut them some slack. They've only added one official song to Beat Saber. Of course, there are different mods that you can use to add a hell of a lot of songs to it, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Hey, Seeking Dawn, the free-to-play version, this guy's saying, is it really as bad as the reviews make it look like? Have you guys tried this? Have you guys tried the free-to-play version? See, I haven't bothered. I'm not going to like download the free-to-play version when I got the pay-to-pay version. I paid for Seeking Dawn. So I'm going to go ahead and play the version that I paid money for. Now, I always assumed that the free-to-play version wouldn't be the whole entire game, like it would be snippets of it or something. Did they basically just give away the game? I mean, so you can just play Seeking Dawn free, or did they cut it up into snippets? Does it have everything that the original game has? Like, has anybody tried this Seeking Dawn free to play? Because if I didn't already own Seeking Dawn, I would have absolutely downloaded this that first day it was available, and I would have banged away on this. So is anybody in chat, has anybody tried that? Chris Gold says, if you guys have not tried zoning out to a VR music visualizer, you are missing something. No, dude, I'm sure that there is a large 420 crowd that has VR headsets, and I'm sure they try a lot of this crazy stuff. And another one I would recommend for anybody in that category, Senza Peso. You absolutely got to try Senza Peso. And Scanner Sombre. Scanner Sombre is another great one for the 420 crowd. So VR headsets tend to sell a little bit better in Colorado, Washington, and California. No, just kidding. Yeah, so I don't know. Seeking Dawn, it's kind of funny that this free-to-play version, people are not that hyped on it. I was liking Seeking Dawn back when I was playing it, but I got bombarded by a whole bunch of other games and kind of had to quit out of it. I need to try it again, actually. Now that I have my 1080 Ti, I absolutely need to give Seeking Dawn another try. That's pretty much it that's going on the Vive subreddit. I can bounce over to the Oculus subreddit real quick, so let's go ahead and bounce over to that. So on the Oculus subreddit, you know, I did see this new Rift experience, Hold the Sun, with Sir David Attenborough. So this is interesting. I'll go ahead and I'll grab this real quick and we can check this out before we bounce out of here. So let me go ahead and grab that. The Ultimate Rift Tweak Guide. I actually probably need to check this out because I need to figure out the whole Oculus Rift tool tray thing, you know, for super sampling and all of that. I still haven't gotten into that yet, but I really want to start doing that. Polycube, my VR puzzle game, is leaving early access on November 17th. See, a lot of developers love this early access thing because if nobody heard of your game when you first hit Steam, they might hear of your game when you're leaving early access. So it's kind of like a welcome to my business type of deal for the second time, you know. It's like grand opening. You just had a grand opening 5 months ago, but now you have another grand opening when you come out of early access. Wardust. Are people still playing Wardust? I probably should go back into Wardust. It was pretty fun. I mean, I was getting killed immediately, but it was still rather fun. And then Oculus S versus Half Dome. That's probably an interesting discussion right there because I wonder, it seems like a lot of people believe that a lot of the Half Dome stuff is going to make it into the Oculus S And I don't think that's the situation, man. I don't think half dome, I don't think the varifocal lenses, I don't even think the 140-degree field of view is going to make it into this Oculus Rift 1.5. The whole thing about a 1.5 is that it's going to come relatively soon, and it's going to have some minor upgrades. It's not going to be a big deal. The optics are going to be vastly improved. Okay, the optics, the God rays, all of that is going to be vastly improved, and the resolution is going to bump up to Samsung Odyssey levels and HTC Vive Pro levels. And, you know, maybe the comfort will be a little bit better. There will be a couple extra little niceties to it, but it's not going to be a world of difference, I don't think. Okay, let's see if we can grab that Hold the World trailer, this new Rift Experience trailer. Let's grab that and get that up on the screen here. Let me see if I can get to it. Hold the World. Where are you? Okay, here we go. Hold the World Rift. Let's check this out. I got to resize it. Must be 720p. Okay.
London's Natural History Museum. In these drawers today, there is a special selection of objects ready for you to explore.
Thank you very much. There we are. Wow. Whoa. That is amazing. Heavens above. Gosh. Whoops. Look, if it's going to hit me in the face, I'm bound to put my hands out to defend myself. It is breathtakingly beautiful.
Well, that was pretty basic, wasn't it?
An interactive virtual reality
experience. Does it keep going? Or no, this is what we saw.
Hello.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Did anybody else think, welcome to Jurassic Park? For lunch, we're going to have chili and sea bass, spared no expense. But yeah, I wonder, is this available right now? I'll check this out. I love to check out these free things. Like, you know, it's always cool to check out these free things. And this is the type of stuff you can put your wife in, or your mom, or your mother-in-law, or somebody like that. You know, they like these educational type things, right? So that was that one. All right, let's see what folks are talking about in chat. Tom Lloyd says, Standout VR is great. It's a first-person shooter and is basically PUBG, but in VR. And Tom Lloyd has not been endorsed by Raptor Labs, as far as I know, or Raptor Lab, right? Chris Gould is commenting back to Jim Hall. The best one I have found so far is DMT or Milk Drop on virtual desktop. Only 2D though. There are a few others. Mirage is good. The best one is still Magic Music The Trip on PSVR. And Tom Lloyd says Wardust is almost $25 and not really worth it. Yeah, now that the sell is over and it's back to that $25 price, 25 bones for Wardust is a little bit of a different proposition. I think it was only 15, right? It was only 15 for about a week. So that definitely has changed it. Okay, so one of the best you can get out there, Magic Music on PSVR. I've never heard of that. Magic Music on PSVR. Let me see if I can look that up. Magic Music. PSVR. It's showing like harmonics music. Not really seeing that. And Cedric Harris 12 says, you must be like the Samsung headset now because you're comparing it to everything. Now I've been liked it. No, I have not tried the Samsung Odyssey Plus, but I'm just talking about like the resolution. Like what I'm saying is the Rift S, if it might as well step up to that resolution and the resolution of the HTC Vive Pro as well. You know, it just makes perfect sense to step up to that resolution. Okay, so chat has distracted me. So let me go ahead and get back to the Oculus subreddit because that's where we were before the Richard Attenborough thing started up. And let's see, Witching Tower, first impressions, beautiful and fun fantasy. It's cool. It's cool, but I don't know I'd go with that far. Toward multifocal displays with dense focal stacks. Don't know what that is about. And yeah, the last thing we got to was Oculus S versus Half Dome, which I do think that is an interesting discussion. And that's pretty much it over there. So let's go ahead and check out PSVR real quick before we bounce out of here. Arc Park is just the worst. Not even worth a rent. Ouch, that is pretty harsh on Arc Park. And Megalith Open Beta has begun. If I was into MOBAs, I could probably reach out to Disruptive Games and try to get into this open beta and try to check it out for you guys. But I'm not really a MOBA guy, man. I'm just not a MOBA guy. So I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to try to go after that, to be honest with you. Legends of Catalonia is free and it is out everywhere. It's basically tourism awareness for Barcelona. You know, I'm willing to try that out. Media Molecule recreates a Little Big Planet level in Dreams. And that, joining the club this Black Friday. Yeah, absolutely. There needs to be a lot of people joining the PSVR club this Black Friday, because those deals, I mean, if you already have a PlayStation 4 in your house, you can get the Astrobot Moss bundle, right? For $200. Is that the bundle? Astrobot and Moss? You're literally getting one of the best VR games ever made. Period. End of discussion. Astrobot is top 10. There's just no question about that. And you're getting Moss. And if you've never played Moss on PSVR is very good with that tracked controller. You know, PSVR is the only system with a legit tracked controller that you hold with two hands that is not split in half. I'm sorry. The Oculus Rift Touch does not substitute correctly. I would rather play Moss on PSVR than I would on a Rift, a Vive, or anything like that. I would rather play it on PSVR. And you're getting both of those for $200. I think you get the camera as well, right? So, I mean, that is just an absolutely amazing deal that is over there on PSVR. So anyway, let's see. Push the Button says, when Rift S is coming, then Samsung Odyssey and HTC Vive will release a new headset with 130 to 140 degree FOV. Well, that is possible, but I think the bottom line for Oculus fans is you just have to come to this realization that CV2, Caspar is what they were calling it, that project has been gutted and it's been canceled, basically. And so they're going back to the drawing board when it comes to a legit CV2. Now, this is speculation. Technically, this is speculation. But, I mean, all this Rift S stuff is all over the place, and you don't see Oculus going out of their way to say, we've never announced a Rift S. There is not going to be an upgrade. CV2 is still on schedule like always. You know, Oculus isn't going out of their way to deny any of this stuff. So I kind of believe that everybody that's dreaming of a legit CV2 that's going to have all these really nice enhancements like eye tracking, foveated rendering, a big giant FOV like Half Dome, or like a lot of these really next level features, I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. And I think we need to come to that realization. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very disappointing for you because you're going to be waiting a very long time. I think what we have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, is we cannot marry any company. We really can't. We cannot be Oculus fanboys. We can't be HTC Vive fanboys. We can't be Samsung fanboys, Windows Mixed Reality fanboys. We cannot be Pimax fanboys. We can't be Star VR fanboys. If you're going to be a VR gamer, the target site says $299, but it's going to be $100 off on Black Friday for that bundle. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to be a VR gamer, if you're going to be especially if you're going to be a VR enthusiast and you're going to be really into this industry right now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be willing to jump from headset to headset to headset to headset. You're going to have to be open. You're going to have to be free. You're going to have a true open platform yourself in terms of jumping to whatever headset comes down the pipe. Steve is a great example of this. Steve Bishop of VR Roundtable fame, he will jump from headset to headset to headset. He just ordered a Samsung Odyssey. He still has it. He's still playing with his Samsung Odyssey Plus. He's also trying to pre-order a 5K Plus, and he has a Rift as well. And you just have to be willing to bounce. You got to be willing to bounce from headset to headset and just be open. Don't be locked into this Oculus idea where you got to wait for the CV2, because you're going to be waiting a hell of a long time. The good news is the 1.5 Rift could be like spring. They could bring this out in spring. They could bring this out in February or March, because you got to imagine they don't really want to have this Rift S going head to head with the Quest in the same time frame. They want them to be separated by like 4 months. They don't want people choosing between the Rift S and the Quest. They don't want to, Oculus does not want to endanger the launch of the Quest at all. So I think if a Rift S is coming soon, it's probably going to come soon, like February maybe. Maybe late February we get the Rift S, and then maybe we get the Quest in May, because they're going to want to have a gap between those two products. They really are. Or we're going to get the Quest maybe like late March, early April, and then the Rift S is going to be like a August thing or something like that, because I guarantee you, they are not going to want to have these things too close together. They are going to want to have them separated a little bit. All right, folks, we have been going an hour. I didn't really have anything prepared, but I tried to wing it and tried to do my best. So hopefully that was a halfway decent show. Now, remember guys, we are moving to a new channel on Monday. And the other reminder, tomorrow, daylight savings time. Tonight, when I go to sleep, I'm going to get an extra hour of Z's. That is going to be really nice. So daylight savings time. So tomorrow, when you tune in to this show, it will be affected by daylight savings time. But also remember this, we follow VR Roundtable. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't know for sure, but I believe there is a VR Roundtable episode tomorrow at about 9 a.m. Pacific time, somewhere right around there, 9:10, 9:15. Although it's going to seem like 8:15, depending on where you're located, because it's going to seem like it's an hour earlier if you're not in the good old US of A. And then our show will follow about 10 minutes after VR Roundtable comes to an end, and Monday is the beginning of VR 3333666665. Yes, it is coming on Monday. So let me go ahead and pop on my outro and get the heck out of Dodge. And my outro needs to be resized. I blame that on Richard Attenborough. Alrighty, guys. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the Saturday show. I will see everybody tomorrow on Sunday, which, of course, it's Sunday Fun Day. It is the after party. It is very chill and relaxed. Kind of similar to this show, no real agenda. And then hopefully Monday, like some legit shows, you know what I'm saying? Alrighty, I will see you guys then. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.